Hello, my name is Belinda and I work as an advanced clinical practitioner within geriatric medicine, and I work for the NHS. Ageing is a natural, gradual process that we all go through, and it affects us not only biologically and psychologically, but also socially as well. As we age, it starts to impact on our daily active living. Simple things such as using the TV or even using a mobile phone can become ever more difficult and frustrating. So as we get older, our vision does start to deteriorate and we become more at risk of certain conditions such as glaucoma. Now this can affect things like blurriness, peripheral vision, the ability to differentiate between kind of colour contrasts, but also low contrasts as well. You do find that your hearing starts to kind of lose its ability a little bit when you're trying to hear audio-based content online, especially when you're pairing this with a hearing aid. Hearing aids can give feedback, and especially if you have something online that is not compatible with your hearing aid, that then makes the actual process quite debilitating. There are certain ailments that become a little bit more, so things like arthritis, or we can get things like sarcopenia, so your muscles don't quite function the same way that they used to. So trying to click small buttons or trying to use multi-finger tasks become increasingly more difficult. Our memory and how we process the world around us start to change, and some of those things can deteriorate or take a little bit longer than normal. So when you try to access a busy, jargon-filled website, it can become increasingly frustrating and actually quite daunting, to the point where you just don't want to access it anymore. So as we get older, our social circle starts to kind of get a little bit smaller, and that's through multiple reasons. Our family get older and move away, or our social circle people start to kind of pass away and they're no longer with us. So on that basis, then trying to learn how to access the online world becomes again very difficult, because you don't know how to access it, or you don't really know who to ask to help you access that world. And again, it becomes a very isolating situation to be in. The barriers I tend to come across with the patients that I see all the time is a lack of knowledge around accessibility tech or assistive tech. They have a lack of knowledge around accessibility features, or even how to find them on their devices, whether that be a website or on their mobile phones. Difficult to find buttons on videos to be able to add captions. Websites that have no prompting on where to find things. But for somebody who's got a lot of all these barriers that I've mentioned already, and especially when you've got a cognitive impairment and you're used to routine, will find that very frustrating and actually quite scary, especially when things like your finance or your health comes into play and you don't know where you're going for information. Well, the first initial process will be about engagement, and that comes from a multiple of areas. So that includes family and friends, businesses, but also healthcare and finance as well. It is about them helping to build the knowledge of my cohort of patients, to give them that confidence of where to find information, how to get hold of it, especially when it comes to assistive tech, such things as joysticks instead of a mouse, so they're actually able to initially get online in the first place, and how to find out the accessibility features to then make accessing online a less daunting place to be. One thing I'd like to see more is for the accessibility icon to be central, large, with clear text to make it easier when you first get online to be able to change and set up how you want to be able to navigate the information that they are providing in a clear and concise way that you're then easy then to process. I'd also like organisations to test the accessibility features that they actually have. Are they working for those people? All of these changes could help build digital confidence and to be able to access the once world that they thought was unobtainable now be at the end of their fingertips.